Good morning, children. Welcome to our again activity filled, fun filled geography class where we will do map work. Now, this map work will end the chapter, and the entire map work I will be doing by explaining each and every point in detail. Children, try to follow this point so you not only will be able to have a better understanding of the chapter, but also your knowledge and understanding will increase. So, without saying much, let us start the map work of your chapter drainage. Now here, children, as you can see that I have used a political map of India so that your accuracy in location is there. Now in this part, children, we will do peninsular rivers and lakes of India. We have already done the Himalayan river system. So here we will do the peninsular rivers and lakes of India. So your syllabus of CBSE has given only 4 lakes to locate. One is there in Jammu Kashmir, then in Rajasthan, then we have another one in Orissa, another one in Tamil Nadu. So there are only 4 lakes, and the major peninsular rivers are there. So Narmada, Tapi, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Now I have prepared a index. Now in this index we will categorize it separately, the rivers portion and the lakes portion. In the river portion, children, we will have number 1 as Narmada, number 2 Tapi, number 3 Mahanadi, number 4 Godavari, number 5 Krishna, number 6 Kaveri. And among the lakes we will have Ular, Sambar, Chilka and Pulicat. So these are the major rivers of the peninsular area, and the lakes are there for the entire India. Just 4 lakes has been selected for this session. Now children, for rivers, again I will specify that the bend from where they are starting and the bend where they are ending is very important. So we will first start with the lakes. Let me first do the lakes. It's quite easy, and then we will do the river portion. Okay. So for the lakes, children, I have given index as A, B, C, D because 4 only are there. So coming to the first lake, that is Ular Lake. Now Ular Lake is located in Jammu and Kashmir. Now children, this place Ular Lake, if you see it accurately, children, this is in our Union Territory of Jammu, and this Ular Lake, if we locate it very accurately, children, you will find this lake is little bit distant away from this, and it is almost in line with this bend. So you can make it that it is in line in this, just little bit away from this one, just little bit below, and here we will, if you draw a line in this way from this bend, that is from this bend, and if you draw a straight line with the help of a ruler, you will find this at the point of intersection, and this is the accurate location of Ular Lake. This lake is on the Jhelum river. You know Jhelum river, it flows in this way. It's on the Jhelum river in this way, and then it flows along the border and then comes out. So this lake is on the Jhelum river. It is in fact located in Srinagar, and it's a very huge lake, and this lake is very important because it attracts many tourists in the country in this area. And this lake is located this lake is located in such a area where it is not only the capital but it is also the center of tourist attraction. It is the largest freshwater lake of our country. Okay, it is the largest freshwater lake of the country, and it has been formed due to the tectonic activity. It is on the Jhelum river. It is located in the Himadri range, and it is a very important lake. As I have said, it is the largest freshwater lake of our country. Now coming to number B is Sambar. So Sambar is located in Rajasthan. It is very much close to Ajmer, and it is located to the northeast of Ajmer, and it is also closer to Jaipur, but it is much closer to Ajmer. It is the largest inland salt water lake. See children, there are two types of lake. One is the fresh water that contains the sweet water, and this is the saline water, largest saline water lake. It's in Rajasthan, and the water of this lake is also utilized to produce salt. Now, how to get the accurate location of this lake? So you can find this bend, children. This bend from where this Satluj river is coming out. The Satluj river is flowing in this way and coming out through this bend. So this bend from where the Satluj river comes out, if you draw a straight line from this bend, okay, the another line that we will take is from this bend. Okay, so from this bend, children, if you draw the straight line, you will get the point of intersection, and this point of intersection is the place where Sambar is located. I hope you can get the points, children. This bend, the bend from which the Satluj river comes out, from this bend I have taken one line, and from this bend again I have taken another line, and here we are getting the point of intersection of Sambar lake. It is the largest inland means within the land, and largest inland salt water lake, and largest inland freshwater lake is the Ular lake, which is on the Jhelum river in Jammu and Kashmir. Now then comes the sea, that is our Chilka lake. Now Chilka lake is very easy to locate. It is in the state of Orissa, and it is the lagoon formed at the mouth of Daya river, and this area is a lagoon. I have already shown you with the help of my PowerPoint presentation that what is a lagoon. So it is a partially enclosed area containing sea water. It is containing sea water, and it is a place where large number of migratory birds, they flock here, and this area has also seen a huge number of turtles or the tortoise. The variety of tortoise is known as turtles moving into this area. It is the largest lagoon of our country, one of the largest. And the next one that we have is Pulicat Lake. Now this Pulicat Lake, children, is here. You can see this bend in Tamil Nadu. Not exactly at the base, this is the base of the bend, but above the base of this bend, we have this Pulicat Lake. This is the second largest lagoon containing brackish sea water after Chilka. Chilka is the first one. The second one is this one, which is Pulicat Lake. and it is in Tamil Nadu. So children, again I am repeating, we are having this one, that is our Ular Lake, and location of Ular Lake I have shown you. The second one is Sambar Lake. Here also from this bend we have taken this, and from this bend the point of intersection is our Sambar Lake. Then I have shown you the Chilka, and then the Pulikat. It is the second largest lagoon of our country after our Chilka. Chilka is the first one, the second one is this one. Now next, coming to the rivers. The first river, peninsular river, is the Narmada river. Now children, one thing has to be noted here. This Narmada is a river which flows towards the west. Now this river starts from the Amarkantak hills in Madhya Pradesh. Here there is a place known as Amarkantak. So from here it is moving westward. Here you have already drawn the Vindhyas and the Satpuras when you have drawn the map work. So in between the Vindhyas and the Satpuras, this river is flowing. Just see how I have made the beds in this way. It is not flowing straight, because a river cannot flow straight. It has to make twists and turns according to the relief. So you will start from here. You can always recognize this bend of Madhya Pradesh state boundary, and from here it is starting making bends in this way. And here there is a small V. If you are using any map, whether it is political or physical, you can easily get this V-shaped bend. So after making some twists and turns, this river forms here, joins the sea here. It does not form a delta, but it forms an estuary. What is an estuary? That also I have shown you in my previous video of drainage. It flows in between the Vindhyas and the Satpura range, and it is a rift valley. It occupies a rift valley. Then we have the Tapi river. So Tapi river, children, rises in the Satpura range, and this also starts from Madhya Pradesh in Betul district of Madhya Pradesh. Here you see, can you identify this bend of Maharashtra, children? So just little bit away from this bend it will start, and then it flows and enters into Maharashtra. See children, this Tapi is a much smaller river compared to Narmada. See, Narmada is starting from here, Tapi is starting from here. So it is a much smaller river compared to Narmada, but you can see it flows across 3 states. It starts from Madhya Pradesh, and then after flowing for a certain distance in Madhya Pradesh, then it enters Maharashtra here, and after flowing through Maharashtra, it moves into Gujarat. So this river also occupies a rift valley. It flows between the Satpura and the Ajanta range, and here you can see a little bit of bulge is there, and just below the bulge it is joining. Just little bit below the bulge. Okay, so this also forms a estuary. It does not form a delta. So Narmada and Tapi are the 2 major west flowing rivers which forms estuary. They do not form any delta. Now coming to the next river, that is Mahanadi. Now Mahanadi rises. This is number 3 is Mahanadi. You can see the keynote, children. So this Mahanadi river, children, starts from the hills of Chhattisgarh, from the highlands of Chhattisgarh. There are plateau here, there are some hills here. So you have already done the plateau region and some of the hills which are there on this plateau. So it will start from here, and then you can see this bend. Okay, you can easily identify this bend. in the political map, and then it will flow from here, little bit of straight line, it will just come below, and then again more or less with little bit of twists and turns it form a delta here. This is the Mahanadi river, which starts from Chhattisgarh and it continues into Orissa. And all of you have heard the name of this Hirakud Dam, children. This Hirakud Dam is on this Mahanadi river, which is the longest machinery dam of our country. It is the longest, not the largest. Okay, it is the longest dam of our country, and it is on this Mahanadi river. And you can see this river, it starts from Chhattisgarh, enters into Orissa, forms a delta in Orissa. But there are some tributaries which come from Jharkhand also, from Chotanagpur plateau, and join this Mahanadi river. Then comes our number 4, that is Godavari river. Now this Godavari river is the longest river of the peninsular division. Among the peninsular division, this is the longest river, and among all the rivers of the country, this is the second largest river after Ganga. Ganga is the longest river of our country. Godavari is the second longest river of India. But if we consider the peninsular division, this Godavari is the longest river. You can see, children, it is covering almost the entire length of Maharashtra. It is flowing over our Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and draining into Bay of Bengal. And it has a large number of tributaries which flow over Maharashtra, then MP, then Chhattisgarh, then Orissa also, Telangana, and then Andhra Pradesh also. So it has a very large drainage basin. Now, if we have to draw this river, so children, can you identify this nose? So, and this is the boundary of Gujarat and Maharashtra. So above this nose, this river will start above this nose, close to the boundary of Gujarat and Maharashtra, and then it will flow with little bit of twists and turns. It will flow over the Deccan Plateau. Now this Godavari, as you all know, it is the longest river. This river starts from the Western Ghats, and it starts from the Nasik district. The place is Trambakeshwar. You must have heard the name of this place. Trambakeshwar is noted for its Shiva temple also. It's in Maharashtra and it's in Nasik. So this Trambakeshwar is the accurate place where this river is starting. It's noted for this Shiva temple also. So this river is flowing in this way, and then it will enter into Telangana. Here there is a small V-shaped bend. You can see the river will enter in here, and then it will flow in this way. Now mind it, children, it is not flowing over the boundary. It is not flowing over the state boundary, but little bit away from the state boundary. Then it will flow in this way and come to this place. This is a W-shaped bend. This W-shaped bend is very important because there are two major deltas here. So it will flow covering a long distance. The distance is nearly 1500 kilometer. So covering a distance of 1500 kilometer, this is the second longest river of our country and the first longest peninsular rivers. Then come our next river, that is Krishna. You can see number 5 is Krishna. Now this Krishna river will start below this nose. You can, again I am saying, I am referring to this nose. This is the place where Mumbai is located. So it also starts in Western Ghats, and this Krishna river starts from a spring near Mahabaleshwar. Mahabaleshwar is a hill station in the Western Ghats. So you can see there is little bit gap. It is not exactly touching the boundary. Little bit below and little bit away. Okay, and then again it will flow in this way enter into Karnataka, so just upper part of the river, and then it will enter into Telangana, and then into our Andhra Pradesh, and finally into Bay of Bengal. So this is just little bit shorter, slightly shorter than our Godavari river, and this is also forming a delta here. It is forming a large delta. Both this Godavari and Krishna river forms a large delta. There is a lake here in between this one, both this delta, and it is known as Koleru Lake. Here there is a lake named as Koleru Lake between these two delta, which is also quite important. This area, natural gas is mined from here. Natural gas and oil is mined from this area, mainly natural gas. This area is very important. Okay, so here also we have the testing center, missile testing center known as Sri Harikota. You must have heard the name. This is also located in this place. So from here, children, the river will start and continue over 4 states: Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And finally we have the Kaveri river. Kaveri is much shorter among these major peninsular rivers. This starts from Karnataka, and this also starts from Brahmagiri range. Brahmagiri range is a part of the Western Ghats, so you can say this also starts from the Western Ghats. So it starts from very close to our Kerala border, just little bit above the Kerala border in this way, and this also flows eastward, enters Tamil Nadu from this bend, and then here it forms a delta. And this river Kaveri is also important, though there are lot of disputes about sharing the water of Kaveri river between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, but still this is a very important river for both these states. Now all these rivers which are flowing eastward, whether it was our river Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, they all form delta, major delta in this part of our country, in their respective areas of the country, and they drain into Bay of Bengal because the land slopes very smoothly and it drains into Bay of Bengal. There are several waterfalls also in the peninsular zone, because we all know that plateau has an edge. Plateau has a steep edge. So all these rivers, they flow over the Western Ghats or the other mountain, and they flow over the Deccan Plateau, and they form important waterfalls, and the waterfalls are mainly used for generation of hydroelectricity. So children, with this we come to the end of our geography chapter 3, drainage, of class 9, and with this I will end the portion that is there in your half yearly examination. So thank you children. Complete the map work and try to follow the steps that I have shown you. Do the work very minutely so that the map work is accurate. Thank you children. Have a nice day.